So tonight I'm going to show you how I make my cauliflower rice. This is like an imitation of fried rice, but made with cauliflower. And I use this riced cauliflower that I already buy in the freezer section. They have it in different sections. This one's from Sam's, but I know they have them at Publix and they have them at other places. So that's what I'm using. I also have some sweet peas that we're going to add in there. I have some cooked chicken breast, some deli ham. I have some eggs that I'm going to use as well, some salt, and this is what we're using to season the rice. Rice vinegar, coconut aminos, which is like a soy sauce, but it's made out of coconut, so I prefer that because it doesn't have soy. This is some toasted sesame oil, and then we're going to use garlic and minced onion. And I already have in the pan a little bit of melted butter or ghee. I'm going to put a little bit more, and you can use whatever fat source you like. I'm just going to put a little bit more. And I'm going to turn on the pan to like medium heat. I've already opened a bag of cauliflower rice. This is supposed to feed about 4 people. So if you want to make for more people, then you want to use 2 bags and so forth. So right out of the freezer, I'm just putting it in the pan. And what you want to do is you want to cook it at the highest heat that you can. Now I do have to confess that in this pan I had made some grilled chicken. The grilled chicken that I'm going to use to put in the cauliflower, so it already has some of the renderings of the chicken. So it's just going to give it more flavor, which is great. So I'm just going to saute this frozen cauliflower. And the reason why we do this is that so that some of the moisture that's from it being frozen, it cooks away. So we're gonna do that. And this is gonna take, this is gonna be quick. It's gonna take about 5 or 6 minutes. So I'll show you once I add get ready to add the rest of the ingredients. Okay, welcome back. So it's been about 6 minutes that I have been cooking the rice cauliflower on this skillet, and it's turned a little bit of color because remember we had some drippings in the pan from chicken that I had already cooked. So I have now the stove turned off, okay, just for a little bit, so that it won't stick. But if you add a good amount of fat in the pan, it's not gonna stick, okay? It's not like regular rice where it would stick at this point. So what I have going on here is the 2 eggs that I had, I scrambled them and I made like a little omelet, and I just have it cut up in pieces, and we're gonna add that as well. And I forgot to mention that I do have some fresh ginger that I keep in the freezer. I peel it, you know, I buy a good amount, I peel them and I put them in a freezer safe bag. And so I'm gonna use some of this ginger on the rice as well, okay? Give it great flavor. So basically at this point is just adding everything in there and sauteing it a little bit. The amount of like rice vinegar and coconut aminos or soy sauce, if you want to use soy sauce, that you're gonna use, garlic powder, onion, and salt is gonna really be to taste. I don't really have like a certain amount of how much I put in each, so I just go by the taste. That's usually how I do it because I've done it so many times. So I'm gonna turn the stove on again, and I'm gonna start out by adding the rice vinegar. If you don't have rice vinegar, it smells really good. If you don't have rice vinegar, you can use any other vinegar that you like, just plain white vinegar, but this is the one that you know, that they use for this type of rice, or that I like the flavor of it. So this is a tablespoon, you know, I'm just gonna just to give you an idea of how much I'm gonna put in. So I'm gonna go ahead and put in about a tablespoon of that. you're just gonna kind of start adding the flavors in, okay? This is just minced onion. If you have one that's like granulated and you want to use it, or if you have fresh onion, I don't have any onions today, you can also chop up the onions really small and add them to the saute. So I'm just adding a little bit of this. So that's probably about a teaspoon, teaspoon and a half. I'm gonna add some salt. And if you're using soy sauce, you want to beware of how much salt you add. I'm using the coconut aminos. This is not nearly as salty as actual soy sauce. It does give you the flavor of soy sauce, but it's less intense and it's not salty at all. It's more on the sweet note. So just keep that in mind if you're using soy sauce, that you're gonna need to add less salt. Otherwise it's gonna be too salty. So I've added the little bit of salt, the onion, and I'm gonna add some granulated garlic. And the stove is on now, like at medium heat. So I'm just adding a little bit of garlic. It's hardly coming out. I would say that's about a teaspoon. But you can add more or less to taste, okay? So I can already smell, it smells really good. Okay, so I'm gonna add the protein. This is the chicken and the ham. There's about a half a cup of each in here. And if you have other proteins that you like to add, like if you have pork, you know, maybe like leftover pork chops would be really nice. I'm just adding chicken because that's what I have. And just get it all combined together. Here's the ginger. I'm gonna go ahead and, although it's frozen, it's gonna work great. One of these microplane graters. So I love ginger. I love the taste of ginger, so I'm gonna put as much as I like. If you don't have fresh ginger, you can use powdered ginger or ginger powder. It's going to be stronger, so you're gonna use less of it. But this, you can use a whole lot more. If you like the taste of ginger, you're gonna have to use a whole lot more of the fresh one. So right there's some in the back hiding. So I added about a tablespoon of the fresh ginger. And it just smells really good. That's when that fresh ginger hits the heat, right away you can get that really nice fried rice. And you forget that you're using cauliflower. I'm gonna now add the eggs that I cooked. This is 2 large eggs. Something that is usually in fried rice. So I'm adding it. So you see it looked like a little bit of cauliflower rice, but when you start adding the proteins and, you know, everything else to it, I guess 4 people could eat from here if you're gonna have something else with it. Depends how much you eat. So the last thing I'm gonna add is the peas, okay? The frozen peas. If you don't have them, I mostly like to add them for color. If you don't have them, you don't have to add them. So here's the coconut aminos. This one has a little spout, so it's taken a while to come out. So I'm just giving you an idea of how much I'm adding. I usually don't measure it because it's to taste. There's 1 tablespoon. There's another tablespoon. It smells delicious. And actually I like, the last thing I'm gonna add is this toasted sesame oil on top. You can add a little bit of it when you're cooking it, but I find that you can really tell, you can really taste it when you add it at the end, right before you're gonna serve it. So, and I'm gonna add a little bit more of this aminos. So pretty much about 3 tablespoons. Smells really good. Now I'm going to add the peas. And this is about a 1/4 cup. You can add as much as you want. See how beautiful the color that it gives to the rice. Now it's looking like fried rice. And we're pretty much done. The cauliflower, as you can see, the pan is dry, so it's not, the cauliflower rice is not soggy, even though we've added all those liquids to it. And then the last thing to finish it is gonna be the sesame oil. And I still have the pan on, but I'm gonna turn it off shortly. This is about a tablespoon or less. And you can taste it and see, you know, at this point, if you think it's gonna need more salt, I wouldn't add more salt until you taste it after you've added everything. So that you know what you actually, what your palate tells you. So there you go, it's pretty simple. I'm just gonna serve some up right here on this plate, on this bowl. And this could be, you know, just a meal itself because it has all the proteins in there, or you can have it as a side dish and you have, you know, your more chicken or whatever it is that, you know, however it is that you like to eat it. So this is simple and easy, made with cauliflower, and it is a low carb dish. It could be keto friendly. If you don't have, again, the coconut aminos, you can use soy sauce. Sometimes you can't. Right now, I noticed that lately I can find the aminos all the time. So if you want to use the soy sauce because it gives it more taste, you can, but this is fine. It gives it really nice, deep flavor. So I hope you guys try this dish and like it. If you do, let me know. Leave a comment below if you like to see videos like these so I can make more actual meals instead of just desserts. And I'll do the best I can. Thank you again for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell so you can find out when I post my next video. See you soon.